Dearmyer. I'm a proud resident of Cheektowaga and a former candidate for the Erie County Legislature. I have the great pleasure today of introducing you all to Sean Cooney. I met Sean a few months ago, excuse me, just as he was beginning his quest for elected office. In this short amount of time, I've come to know Sean as an impressive and very serious candidate. Sean's also become a good friend and an inspiration. His knowledge of the issues, passion for reform, and willingness to do what it takes to win are the real deal. For those of you that do not know him yet, I can tell you this. Sean is an attorney who fights every day for working men and women. He is a progressive Democrat with experience on the front lines of many local and state campaigns. Sean is an advocate in his community and neighborhood. He believes in social, economic, and racial justice. He is an independent, reform-minded candidate with the determination to win. I believe that the residents of New York State in the 58th District deserve better than the representation that we've had in Albany. And I know that Sean Cooney is the answer. Please join me in a round of applause and a loud cheer for our next New York State Senator, Sean Cooney.
Thank you for joining me, everyone, this morning. It's a very important announcement, not only for me and for all of us, but for Western New York. Lynn Dearmyer deserves a special thank you, not only for her kind words, but for her record of taking on the status quo in Cheektowaga and now with me in Albany. Thank you, Lynn.
Yeah.
I'm also grateful to welcome some of Western New York's true reformers. Majority Leader Maria White. Thank you.
Yeah.
Common Council Member Michael Licurdo. And, my friend from Jamestown, Council Member Greg Rabb. Thank you. The need for change in Albany has never been more clear than it is today. Our state legislature has been called the most dysfunctional, and everyone agrees our leadership is out of touch. While it's easy to say the word change or place it on your political placards, which many of our opponents will, I'm here to formally announce my candidacy for New York State Senate because we need change we can count on.
Yeah!
Albany is not working for Western New York, and we are squandering opportunity because of it. Right where we stand today, an exciting opportunity for waterfront development is underway. This is a chance to set a new standard in publicly subsidized development with a community benefits agreement. This is a standard which will protect our taxpayer dollars and make development projects better. Despite this opportunity, Albany has refused Western New Yorkers a real say in the process. The Albany Creative Public Corporation has refused to adhere to the requests of the waterfront residents and of the Buffalo Common Council, and has refused to enter into a community benefits agreement. Instead, the public corporation, which is at least twice removed from electoral accountability, created by Albany, says it is okay to spend $150 million of taxpayer money without concerns of accountability or the type of jobs we're actually going to get with our own taxpayer investment. We deserve better. We deserve a state senator who will empower local representatives with appointments on the public corporation. If the Erie Canal Harbor Development Corporation has a voice from Buffalo appointed by elected officials from Buffalo, we will see the type of project we need on our waterfront. That is change you can count on.
Yeah.
I have talked to voters across the district, and it's obvious that the crises in state government are overburdening Western New York schools, neighborhoods, and families. We cannot take this anymore. We have a continued job crisis with high unemployment and too few middle classes capable of raising a family. We have a budget crisis, the magnitude of which is jeopardizing our schools, our families, our parks, and more. We have endured a political crisis which quite literally shut down state government solely because of political gamesmanship and power grabbing. We will only overcome these challenges by sending a new leader to Albany, a new leader who is not currently employed in the same broken system that we're trying to fix. Only that new leadership is change you can count on.
Yeah.
We're going to create middle-class jobs and have accountable economic development with a focus on living wage jobs and stop subsidizing poverty-level employment. We're going to have to elect someone new. If we're going to ignite a resurgence in renewable energy manufacturing and home weatherization and investment in healthcare, we're going to have to elect someone new. To prevent future budget crises, we need to change to long-term budget solutions and not new tax gimmicks every year. That means we demand a fair tax system where families and businesses pay their fair share alike. Before we raise taxes on families, we need to cut our legislators' own pork and look to Wall Street, who got us in this mess in the first place, and tax their elite bonuses and Wall Street windfalls. That is change you can count on. It is time for political reform which ends the blatant pay-to-play and three-men-in-a-room system which have bullied Western New York for far too long. We must end the pay-to-play donations from people who have financial transactions with the state of New York. Lower our campaign finance limits, which forces elected officials to be accountable to voters and not special interests. We must finally have term limits for our Albany legislative leadership positions. That is change you can count on. I will fight to end illegal discrimination against New Yorkers based solely on whom they love. It is time in 2010 that we end the current state of second-class citizenry and allow all New Yorkers to have the 2,500 rights, responsibilities, and privileges bestowed by the institution of marriage. That is change you can count on. Albany has become diseased by corruption, backroom deals, and complacency. The only solution is to find people who are not already infected with those ailments. As the only candidate not currently employed in this political system, who's not currently making the political deals that are stifling our economy, my campaign is about electing someone with a perspective and independence to champion change we can count on. We will not see real change with the re-election of someone first appointed when Gerald Ford was president and we were ending the war in Vietnam. Real change is not the promotion of transactional legislators whose votes are for sale or who have participated in the same power-grabbing political gamesmanship in their current tenure. Real change is not empowering an incumbent legislator to leverage a judicial appointment or advance his own career. Real change is change which you can count on. This campaign will be an uphill battle against layers of entrenchment and political deals, but we will not back down. Just last week, Albany political mercenaries with known Steve Pigeon operative Jack O'Donnell stormed into our campaign headquarters demanding that we suspend our campaign and stop our talk of change. We will not back down. Not only can we not count on those interests to deliver change, that is precisely the type of bullying that is stifling Western New York and Albany. No candidate associated with Steve Pigeon or similar interests can credibly stand for anything but the worst in politics. We will not back down to those interests or any others. We will challenge leadership today, through September, through the general election, and most importantly, right into Albany directly. With your help, we will see change which we can count on. Thank you very much, and let's get to work.